Hey, Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakha HaKodash. Throw honors to my teachers, the head apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Kazak Shalom to the hopeful elect. It's the brother of the Yash. Lord willing back with another edifying video. Just want to go real quick and how these earthquakes are a sign of the Lord coming back. It says at least 32 people unalived and over 200 injured after 7.8 magnitude earthquake rocks the Philippines. At least 32 people have died after a powerful earthquake struck an island in the Philippines, causing landslides and buildings to collapse into rubble. Eyewitnesses on Mindanao and south of the country said people rushed out of their houses into the streets for safety as the ground shook. So jump down to this another paragraph. The magnitude 7.8 earthquake also triggered tsunami waves exceeding a meter that impacted nearby coastlines. More than 200 people were left injured. Almost 24 more are missing, and 10,000 residents have been preemptively evacuated. So this is judgment from the Lord and an indicator of Yahweh's return. Mark 13:8, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places." So we're seeing, NATO and EU versus the BRICS nations. We're seeing people even questioning Israel. All Edomites are starting to experience the curses. So it was Esau versus Esau. And there should be earthquakes in diverse places. We've been reporting on earthquakes for the past couple years. Luke 21:11, "And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences." Those pestilences have been rumored. Something like the vid, the new H, you know what I'm saying? We got to talk in code. And then how gas prices and the cost of living is right now, those famines are on the way. But again, these earthquakes are definite signs of the Lord's return. And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And then, of course, 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself." Measure is the verb and how we're supposed to be looking at the prophecies and engaging how close we are to the return of our Lord. And diligently is the adverb describing how we should be doing that. Isaiah 62:6 says, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, that shall never hold their peace day nor night, until Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai establishes and make Israel praise in the earth." So brothers throughout all four corners of the earth are constantly pushing out content, letting you know that Yahweh Shah is on his way back. And when thou seest part of the signs past, what? The tokens, the prophecies, the things that were spoken before and are coming to pass right now. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So when we see certain things happen, we know Yahweh Shah is getting closer to coming back, i.e. the chariots, because that's the same way he left. Verse 3, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world," so we see the earthquakes. We got different examples of the uproars, but it's going to be more. It's going to be more race wars. It's going to be more chaos. Because when people have nothing to lose, they lose it, man. "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." And that's the whole essence of prophecy. Isaiah 42:9, it says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." So that's what a prophet does. Like if I walked up to you and told you in 5 minutes somebody's going to come up to you with a brown envelope and it's going to have X, Y, and Z in there, and somebody walks up to you 5 minutes later with the brown envelope and the contents, that is a prophetic statement. And when the person comes up to you with the brown envelope, that prophecy has been fulfilled. So same thing that happened with the earthquakes, with the current gas price, with the Fed, with all these things. Now we're waiting for the mandatory implementation of the CHIP. And you have to give all credit to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai for putting the spirit on the apostles who brought it up. Never switched up the doctrine, whether it came to the grape, which we never promoted. We just gave you the breakdown of what the scriptures say on that topic. The flower, woman, age, the things that make these westernized people feel uncomfortable. The Lord put the spirit on them to declare these things before they happen, and the Lord put the spirit on the apostles to rightly divide the word of truth. And through Wadi al-Bashim al-Shah, we've entered into their labors. But that's how we know what to look for. That's how we are in the stead of Habakkuk, and we're in that watchtower, and we know what to look for, so that way we can make the proper sound and blow the trumpet, which is prophesying. Joel 2:1, it says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain." So blowing that trumpet again is the form of prophesying. We cry aloud, spare not, lift up our voice like a trumpet, and show Jacob their transgressions, pursuing Isaiah 58. In Zion, the people before is a place, that's the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. But this is what we're ultimately here to warn you about. The day of the Lord. It's full of darkness, gloominess, a lot of death. When Yahweh returns, it's not going to be all sunshines and rainbows. This chapter in particular goes into the missiles, but I brought that out because of the first verse for blowing the trumpet in Zion in the form of prophecies. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Call Halayim Lai, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. These earthquakes and other signs, tokens coming to pass gives us hope, and lets us know that Yahushua is closer and closer each day. So, again, the Wadi al-Bashim al-Shah, give me a spirit to do this lesson. Till next time, Shalom.